Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get it. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the thumbnail, this is New Folsom Use of Force, California State Prison, Sacramento, also known as New Folsom. There was a tragic use of force that ended in the unaliving of an inmate. We'll get into the details of that here shortly. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, and let me know what you think, and share this video. Also, you can become a member. Tap that join button and take a look at the different levels. There's going to be exclusive content and possibly some giveaways. We'll see where that goes. So, CDCR is investigating the use of the unaliving of an inmate due to use of force at California State Prison, Sacramento, also known as New Folsom. The CDCR has sent out the Deadly Force Investigation Team, as well as the Sacramento County DA is investigating this incident. On Friday, April 12th at 6:55 p.m., allegedly, Christopher, I think it's Long, charged officers and began to hit staff. And staff used force to pin him to the ground, where he would eventually stop breathing. Paramedics were called and life-saving measures were performed. And at 7:50 p.m., he was pronounced deceased. Now they're saying in the course of all of this happening that 10 staff members were injured. That seems interesting to me. One guy, 10 COs, well, 10 staff, but who else is going to be in the housing block? You know, I find that a bit peculiar. Typically, with what I've seen is they're going to start with the spray. They're going to hit you with the CO spray. You know, somebody's acting belligerent, charging at staff, spitting at them, you're going to get sprayed. And more than likely, that's going to take you down. If that doesn't work, now, you know, this is a level 4 yard. So, you know, they should be under gun coverage at all times. I'm not sure about in the housing block, but I would think so. Okay, so typically, if, you know, once they hit them with the spray, they will typically fire off the block gun a couple times before deadly force is used. Now, I don't know the circumstances, you know, inside the housing block, it's tighter quarters, so maybe that wasn't an option, but it just seems like there was a breakdown in training on this one. It shouldn't take 10 correctional officers who are trained in this type of stuff to subdue one man. And from the pictures I've seen, it doesn't even look like he was all that big of a man. You know, it's not like the guy was 6'7", 300 pounds. Like he looks like a typical sized guy, you know? So, you know, it's a tragic situation, but, you know, this is the type of stuff that happens in the Department of Corrections. You know, you know, I'm not trying to justify the man's actions by any means, but it seems like they just did too much there. And, I don't, like I said, I don't know all the details. And to be honest with you, I have a history with the police, and, my mouth tends to get me in trouble. Well, it used to when having interactions with the police. Uh, I'll tell you on more than one occasion, I was either slammed on a car, put in the grass, or, different circumstances. On one occasion, there was a domestic disturbance at, our house. There was another family living there, and that's what the domestic disturbance was between my wife and the other family, basically. And the cops got called out, and there was a bunch of words being thrown back and forth. And the cop basically said something sideways to my wife. And, I told him, well, when you're outnumbered, you call for backup, right? And dude is going to tell me with a straight face, no, when I'm outnumbered, I just start shooting. And my big mouth, I turned around and told him, well, maybe that's why so many of you guys are getting shot. And then next thing you know, I'm in the grass. He took me down, and, I don't feel like I have always been the type of person you're not just going to, I don't care if you have a badge on or not, you're not going to run your mouth and try to talk down to me or my wife or anybody I love for that matter without some consequences. So, that was one instance. There was another instance where, I was just being a real smartass with this cop. He had pulled me over, and I knew the car was clean. And, he asked me if there were any drugs or guns or anything like that in the car. And I told him, no, there ain't nothing there, but if you find anything, I'll split it with you. And he didn't think that was very funny. And next thing you know, I'm being slammed up on the hood of the car. In neither one of those instances did I actually get arrested. But, there was another instance where my homeboy's car was getting towed away after it got hit by a drunk driver. And I was out there popping off at the mouth once again. This was a long time ago. This was like probably in the early 90s. And the cop told me that I needed to back up, that I was in, the area they were investigating. And I told him it's a free country. I don't need to do nothing. And he whipped out that billy club, and, I kept running my mouth, and he hit me right above the knee. Oh my God. That pain was incredible. It took everything not to start crying like a little girl on that one. But, that's the thing with it all, I guess, is, sometimes me in particular, I would play stupid games and I'd win stupid prizes. You know, I think I probably wouldn't have run my mouth like that to people in the neighborhood that I knew had guns. So, it's something to consider, I guess, anyways. But, rest in peace to Mr. Long. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, but, the thing is, when we put ourselves in situations where we end up incarcerated, we're kind of at the mercy of these guys. And, that's the last thing you want to be. Look at the Bulldogs, the way they keep trying to drop them on these GP yards. Nothing ever good comes from being incarcerated. So, today is a great day to get clean and sober. If, you're new to sobriety, welcome. And I believe in you. You can do this. You just got to do one day at a time, and it gets easier with time. So give it a chance. that is pretty much my video for the day. So, like I said, rest in peace to that gentleman that succumbed to the deadly force of the officers. And remember, it's just making one good decision and then compounding those good decisions. And, it goes a long way with being successful in life and not ending up in these institutions where things like this can happen. The thing is, maybe dude was having a bad day. I don't know. But, that's my take on the whole situation. Family, fitness, and freedom are the things that help me to get clean and remain clean and stay out of these type of places, and it can help you as well. Remember, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, and tell me what you think. There's not a whole lot of information out on this, but do you think that that CDCR went too far? The officers went too far with this? I mean, obviously, it ended tragically. I don't know, but don't look at the mountain; just start climbing.